Welcome back, traders. My name is William Fonseca. Welcome to Smart Habits. In today's video, we're going to see why overtrading is not a strategy problem. And we're going to deconstruct and I'm going to give you some highlights and based on my experience, certain thoughts and some information that I consider really interesting to share with you among this interesting topic, right? So let's first of all talk about this common belief. So it's like most traders think they overtrade because their strategy is bad. Okay, so they change the strategies constantly, add more confirmations, or search for better entries. But overtrading continues, and I know you have lived this because I have already lived that. And this is the first misunderstanding, especially because as a day traders, we need to be very honest with ourselves. And sometimes we execute more orders than we should, and we try to justify them with the market analysis, right? And if you find yourself doing that, it's part of the process. Don't be ashamed of doing that. Just try to recognize you're doing it. And the faster you recognize it and change it, the better or the next level will be there for you. Okay? You will encounter further problems, but they will put you in a better position from the current position you are actually now. So what overtrading really is that it's a behavioral response. It's not a technical one. And it comes from especially two things. Fear of missing out, which is normally known or commonly known as FOMO, if you have already heard about it. And FOMO, in other words, or in few words, means that it's when you think you're losing an opportunity. So for example, you see an impulse of the market going upwards, downwards, you think you'll lose that movement and then you enter without plan, without confirmations, just emotionally, because your mind says, I want to get this move. And if I don't get this move of the market, I would lose money or I would lose the opportunity. So the second reason is boredom, right? Sometimes when the market is very, very slow, which is something that kind of happens, right? And we get bored because the market doesn't move as we want it moves. There is when we start executing orders without confirmation, just for boredom, in other words, right? Pressure to make money. And this is the one that there are some survival traders, I would like to call them, because they need the money to survive. And that's that pressure to make that money or to pay their bills, to pay or to recover. That pressure that you put on yourself, on your shoulders, makes you execute more orders than you should. And that also leads you to have other type of behaviors in the market that actually diminish your quality of execution. And the last one, which is very important, the lack of rules and boundaries. So when you are imagine that the market or doing Forex or any type of, it could be Forex or futures or just being a trading and cryptos or whatever, you are in a whole world where there is no rules. So you think that is the liberty, but liberty means the ability to create your own set of rules and boundaries to behave in that world. So if you don't have a really clear set of rules or boundaries for when to execute or not to execute orders, when to analyze or when not to analyze, that is also one of the reasons that creates overtrading in most of us. So no strategy can fix this behavior. That is the next rock we as a day traders encountered after finding or understanding more or less the market, right? And it's that you find your own stone on your shoe, which is yourself, right? Which makes it a very interesting process because it's personal development. You get better as you overcome this type of rocks that you find. Now, why smart money concept traders still overtrade? So this is just particular for this type of traders who use this strategy because or this framework or trading analysis system, because it's the one I've used, but this also works for any type of trader, which is another system, right? Now, smart money concepts create many possible setups of any other system, right? But without strict rules, you can trade every order block looks valid, every liquidity sweep looks tradable, and every session feels like an opportunity. Now, smart money concepts requires filtering, not activity, and this is paramount, right? And in some of the videos I have created about trading analysis or smart money concept analysis, I set a frame, I frame a set of rules, and also you can download the ebook, which is here in the description of the video, which I set certain rules you can use to execute properly your trades. But in other words, you need to make or you need to define the correct set of setups to trade according to your trading plan, and then have a sample of them to see if this is profitable or not, and then adjust, and keep improving your strategy, right? So the role of emotional pressure, which is something important here. Now, pressure creates urgency when traders need money, trade without plan, and don't trust their process, right? And this is something that many of us have suffered, especially because I think social media has created that type of urgency among us. So you start seeing TikToks or Instagram or whatever type of social media reels in which you see people executing lots of money in a luxurious restaurant and or in a Ferrari, for example. So that creates an urgency that makes you believe that you're not doing the process properly, or you need the money now, right? And or some of us which are in the process, we have been learning trading for months, even years, and we're in our process because this is too personal. Right? Some people may take 6 months, some other may take 5 years, right? It's your process, right? And so when you start feeling the type of urgency, this leads to worse execution in many cases, and it's like you validate this type of, or you just reinforce negative feeling that you are not a professional trader, or you're just wasting your time. You're not actually trusting your process, or that you really need the money, which is the worst, I would say. This happened to many of us. Let me tell you, this is not. I highlight this as the smart habits effect solution. Let's say it's just something that helped me, and I hope this can help you as. It's not actually a very general solution, of course not, right? It's something that, based on my experience and based on what I have done as a trader, helped with me correcting this uncomfortable situation that we as traders. This is what I have done. So reduce trades by design professional traders. Reduce trades by design professional traders. When you start limiting your session, for example, you say, I'm just going to execute orders in the London session because according to the place in which I'm located, and also my work schedule works the best for just trade London session, right? Or you say, no, New York session is the best for me because after lunch I can execute orders right there, and I have 30 minutes to analyze the market, and then I can execute orders. Go ahead, right? But limit the sessions. Please do not, if you're not clear what type of session you're going to work, that will also really affect a lot of trading, right? So define what is a non-trade condition. So this is not easy to do, but the easiest way is just following certain strategy that provides you certain setups. And if the market do not show you that specific, it means that the other type of setups or things you see in the market are non-trades, so are not tradable things. And you just need to define that as a condition. And this is the hard part. Condition yourself not to do that. Okay? And this is another one, a set missing trades. So even if you have rules, there will be some missing trades which you won't be able to follow, let's say, because let's say you selected London session just to execute your orders because it's in the morning and it's easier for you, but then in New York session, the setup up here, and you weren't there to execute. Accept that, right? That we need to accept that type of reality. Just that, chase. I mean, there was money that I left on. Look, my friends, frame yourself with this. If you weren't there, there's no money to. Simple as that, right? Because then you start sabotage yourself with these type of thoughts, and then you start like seeing things that probably in that really not exist. And you start over trading. And now measure execution, not frequency. What is the meaning of execution? Correct execution. It means if you have certain setups, for let's say 4 type of setups. So count the times you execute these type of setups. Do not just the frequency you execute orders, because let's say you execute 10 trades per. And of those 10, just two follow the trade. So 8 of them are out of the equation. So the idea is that you just execute, measure your execution, the quality of your execution, not the frequency you are putting orders. And that's like the first baby. All right. And now less trades means more clarity. And as well with clarity will lead you to better results. Sometimes in trading, do less is do more. As you start doing it in your own personal trading experience, you will recognize the veracity of this type of state. So as a suggestion, I have brought here the next, which is like a practical shift, let's say, for this over trading situation. So from can I trade or should I trade in this situation, I define this type of question before doing it. So they are, does this meet my rule? That's the first question. Then you ask yourself, is this my session? If you don't have a correct session, I am called, do I need this money? These are like emotional questions. How do you feel that? And have I already traded? Yeah. So I woke up and I just execute 3 orders and they went to stop loss. And now I'm here to revenge trading, which means I just want to recover the losses. So being able to do this very honest process, because this is something I want you to understand. There is no method there on internet that can help you with this type of, because this is you with your, there's, I mean, I will be there with, there will be any other fancy trader you see on asking you these type of questions. These are the questions you need to ask to yourself and make that exercise for yourself. Once you answer the next, and if one of these answers is no, well, then you don't trade. As simple as that, right? With these 4 questions, if one of them are yes or the answer is no, you don't trade, right? It's not up in your trading plan, right? You're not in your session. You maybe are anxious or you just feel revenge, or you have already traded today. So if one of these are positively answered, bro, do not execute any order. Because each time you put an order to the market, it's money that comes from your pocket to the pocket of other person or other trader, which already asked these questions and is executing his trading plan or her, right? So with this, I hope I can help you. This will help you, like make introspective exercise. Now, a key takeaway. So overtraining stops when structure increases. So fix your routines, your limits, your expectations about the market, right? Not your strategy. Sometimes trading, when you already have the strategy, trading do not relies the quality of your trading ability do not rely on this strategy, but also relies on, or I would say it relies the most on your routine and these limits you have for yourself. Okay, define this. You can have a piece of, and define this. I'm my orders, or am I trading when I get a particular routine? For example, I just finished my job and start doing trading, or it's lunchtime. I'm doing trading before I go to my job. I'm doing trading. So you're just following a routine. That routine will help you to improve this as well. Your limits, like I will never execute orders with my family, for example, with my friends, with my and your expectations. This is something that we need to do that exercise for our own, honey. Do I really want? Do I really need a? Do I think I will be able to get a Ferrari? And what set a little bit down your expectations. I'm not saying do not dream big, because you can have the Ferrari, definitely, but the Ferrari will be get once you fix all of these problems. And definitely that's just a process that you need to define as your expectations. Probably when you just get to a point that you got a nice house and a nice, it will be a Ferrari, but you feel well enough. You say, you said, you know what? Fair enough. I have done it. I don't need a Ferrari so far, right? You set your expectations, and that will help you. All right, and just to finish, my friends, so consistency comes from discipline, not for activity. So if you struggle with overtraining, this channel is for you, my friend. In this channel, I will break down more and more aspects that probably are in another YouTube channels about the psychology behind mixed with my experience, and also, of course, trading analysis and strategy, especially smart money concepts, right? Because they want. So in the next videos, I will focus about habits and execution. So if you really like this type of information, you feel comfortable in any type, and help you subscribe if you want to trade with a structure and not with stress. Finally, before you watch the, if you have any question, please leave it here in the comments. Revise this presentation, video, and leave a comment. Even if you like or you disagree or you don't agree with, I said the same, or you agree, if you agree or you disagree with information, I will be so happy to help you and listen to you. No more to say, my friends. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end, and I'll see you then in